What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Littleroot Lettering. So, today Carlos put together a Rhyperior Latios team for me, which this looks really sick on paper. So we actually have 3 mons here from the Indigo Disc with Rhyperior, Latios, and Porygon 2, all of which are actually pretty critically important for, like, making Rhyperior work. So we have Trick Room mode with Porygon 2, setting Trick Room for Rhyperior, making it, like, the fastest thing on the field, being able to pressure our opponent that way. We also have Latios here to flip turn into Rhyperior with Solid Rock. We're not going to take a ton. And then that's going to trigger Weakness Policy. Let us sweep that way as well. Incineroar, Flutter Mane, Ogerpon, pretty standard for like what this team is doing. I think this is a pretty straightforward team on paper. I'm very excited to try this out. Like, what we're trying to do is very understandable. Rhyperior wants to sweep the game. If Rhyperior is bad, we have other tools to be able to pressure our opponent that way. On paper, it looks very simple. In practice, I'm sure that the matches we're going to have today are going to be a little more complicated than that. So let's go ahead and just jump on into the games and see what we can do today. Alrighty. Great Tusk. That's not something I've seen in a hot minute. Got Latias over there. Got Raikou. It looks like they could be trying to to snarl us and intimidate us down. I'm curious if Rhyperior is actually worth it here in front of Incineroar. But we also have Ogerpon, which can pressure it appropriately. Latios probably also does just a solid chunk into it with what coverage do we have here? Just drop a Draco on it. Could be fine. I like the idea of setting Trick Room. The question is do we want to try to trigger Rhyperior policy with Latios, or do we want them to just try to naturally do it? I think P2 looks good. I think Latios actually up front as well looks fine. Just flip turn off of them, bring in Rhyperior that way. And then from there, what do we want our last one to be? Probably just Flutter Mane. Flutter Mane looks really good into just everything they have going on. Rhyperior probably handles Great Tusk pretty okay by itself, as well as P2 and Latios being able to hit it for really good damage on the special side. Yeah, I think I just Flutter Mane here in the last slot. Let's ship it and see what we can do. And of course, as always, everyone, if you're interested in supporting us, make sure you like the video, comment, what you want to see next, and make sure you stay until the end. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. So it really does help us. We're trying to hit 1K this year, and we're on pace to do so. So if you are interested in supporting us along the way, make sure you subscribe. Let's see what we can do here. It's gonna be Raikou and Great Tusk. Okay, so they could be snarling us with Raikou. I don't think I have any particular reason to Terra here. I think I just want to click Trick Room this turn. And I think I want to flip off of the Great Tusk to break its Sash. Photosynthesis didn't trigger, so it makes me think that this is Sash. And if they do, they could go for a... Oh, maybe Terra on P2 was correct, because they could go for a close combat into P2. But I bet we could take that pretty okay, all things considered. I'm just curious what Raikou's going to do here. Anyway, here's my Rhyperior. Ooh, light screen. We're going to be a screen setter. Okay. Anyway, here's my policy. Thanks. That was even a crit. Man, Great Tusk. Talk about a Pokemon that's kind of just fallen out of favor. So now, I could see Ensign coming in. I kind of want to just Ice Beam the Great Tusk. I want to click Earthquake here. It is super effective into the Raikou. You can also see Raikou just protecting. I think I just want to drop a Rock Slide on them. If they don't protect, then we can just get off some really good damage here. Yeah, they are going to withdraw. I'm assuming this is Ensign coming in. No, it's Latias. Even better. That's a lot of damage. +1 Ice Beam is going to be enough to one-shot the Latias here. Nice swap. They could set Reflect here with Raikou, but I don't really care. Like, I'm just doing so much damage here. And if this is Ensign coming in, again, I don't really care. Flutter Mane? Yeah, okay. Okay. So now I'm going to Terra here, go for a Terra Blast into the Flutter Mane. And I could Iron Head. I'm just going to... I think clicking Earthquake here is probably fine. It's going to be enough to take the Raikou out. And, like, obviously I'm going to hurt my P2, but I don't think I'm ever in a position where I KO P2. Like, I don't even think a crit is going to KO my P2 here. Earthquake is obviously very nice because we have Latios to pair with it. So we can just, like, sit here in front of our opponent and, like, just Earthquake spam. I was not expecting P2 to be so good here, but... Man, P2 is really putting in some work this match. I can see a Protect coming out from the Flutter Mane. Nope, no Protects. Okay, bye Raikou. Good golly. Yeah, this is just like the perfect Rhyperior game, right? Oh, man. Trick Room, very powerful when your opponent doesn't have an answer to it. I think had they gone for like a close combat into P2, they could have tried to really pressure us, but instead, here we are. 2 turns left. Yep. I'm going to click Recover this turn. And we'll go for a Iron Head here. Yeah, perfect. 2 turns of Rhyperior, 3 KOs. Granted, P2 got more kills that game than Rhyperior did, but Rhyperior definitely set him up to do the thing. Really, really great game there to showcase what we're trying to do with Rhyperior. And, you know, the simplest way to put it, our opponent didn't have an answer to Trick Room, right? Like, what was their solution there? They set screens with Raikou, which didn't matter. I was still able to just 2-shot all of their Pokemon through their Reflect. And Light Screen, let's not forget that. So, yeah, pretty solid game there for Rhyperior. Okay, Qianpao kind of looks kind of scary. I think this is definitely an Ensign kind of game. Their own P2 is also very interesting here. What does Latios' speed get to? 178 times 1.5. Let's see. That's a lot. 290 something? Oh, my brain is not working this morning. 178 times 1.5. 267, nowhere near what I said. I mean, that's still fairly fast. Problem is we get Sucker Punch by Qianpao and then we're sad. I think this is like Ensign, P2. Rhyperior does not look very good here with them having Urshifu, Rillaboom, Ensign, Qianpao. So I think this is just like I think this is an Ogerpon kind of game. Is it? I don't think so. I think this is a Latios Flutter Mane to round it out. Ogerpon doesn't look bad, but I don't think it's particularly good. I think they just have too many things that really threaten it to really incentivize me bringing it here. They're a very physically offensive team, so getting to a point where we can just like Intimidate Cycle them seems like exactly what we want to do. Alright, so we intimidate them. Notably, our intimidate went first, which makes me think that our ensign is in fact faster than theirs. And unfortunately, we get an attack boost here. I don't think I want Trick Room to go up this game. We didn't see booster trigger on Fluttermane, so that tells me they are specs. So I'm going to go for a knockoff into it. Do I want to do that? I could just knock... I think I'm going to... I think I need the knock damage for Terra Blast to KO here. If they knock into my P2, it's pretty bad. Looks like they're just immediately going to Terra their Fluttermane here as well. And the fact that they are specs means that our booster Flutter should outspeed them as well. They could go for a knock into my P2. They could also fake out that spot, and so by going for Ghost Terra here. So this is probably a D-Gleam coming out. Let's get the Moonblast. Ensign eats this, right? Well, P2 definitely eats. Yep, there goes their specs. The fact that we're not special attack boost here is, yeah. Alright, well, I think this game is, pretty much over, unfortunately. I don't have Protect here. I don't have a good switch in. I think I go for a Recover. Hope they don't target down my P2. Yeah, D-Gleam should just be enough to KO, though. I am going to get my Parting Shot off, though, so that's good. So actually, both of my Mons here in the back should outspeed Fluttermane. And I think bring out Latios to take whatever hit they have coming into that slot is probably better for me. And they just Parting Shot as well. So I can actually flip turn off of whatever comes in here to get Latios back out. Here comes Rilla. So I can actually just, like, manually pivot out Latios now. I could bring in Ensign, but Ensign's going to be slower. I think I'd need to bring in Flutter here. I really want to just start Luster Purging, but... I am booster speed, right? I am. Okay. So I'm going to manually pivot here, get the Intimidate on the Rilla. Moonblast is more powerful than Shadow Ball, has a chance to lower their special attack as well, so I'll just go for a Moonblast into their Flutter. They don't have Protect because they are specs. Unless they pivot out as well, which I don't anticipate them doing. Their Fluttermane's now at -3 attack. Very important to note. They're just going to Moonblast my Ensign, I'm assuming. Just chip. And Woodhammer shouldn't KO, right? Nope. It's a lot, but not a KO. Not at -1. So they could be AV on Rilla, which is what I think we're really relying on here. I'm just going to Flare Blitz the Rilla and go for another Moonblast into the Flutter. I think Latios is how I win this game. Locking into, like, Luster Purge. Yeah, this is their Ensign coming back in. So this actually makes it where I can't lock into Luster Purge. Yeah. I don't... How could I have won this game? Is setting Trick Room my play? Because, like, I don't have a play now. I'm going to knock into the Ensign. I'm going to Luster Purge into the Rilla. Yeah, appropriately fake out there. They are AV, so they're going to get their U-turn off. But I do get to knock whatever the Ensign's item is. I'm pretty sure this game is over. Especially with him having Rilla here. And Urshifu. Goggles is gone, doesn't actually mean anything to me. So I guess I just start Flare Blitzing here. Okay, Luster Purge is enough to take out their Dork. Their Urshifu. That's actually pretty good damage. Oh. Understood. And now they can just... Yeah, this game's over. They're going to be able to just, like, fake out pivot me the rest of this game. And I don't have Protect on either of my Mons. And they can just bring back in, and then they bring in Ensign to go for a fake out into that slot. Yep, okay. I am willing to concede this game. You have bested me in the arena. Like, looking at it, Rhyperior's not good in that matchup because they have Urshifu and Rillaboom. It's like I can't Terra away from my weaknesses. I really don't know what the correct play was, but I know the play I made was not it. Alright, pretty standard balance team here. Lando and... like Amoonguss here as well. I could see them bringing Amoonguss. Going for like Rage Powders if I get Trick Room up. So this makes me want to do Latios P2 up front. Rhyperior looks interesting here in the face of, like, their only big check is Urshifu. They also have Lando, which can hit me for super effective damage even after Terra. And then I think my last one I still just want Flutter. I don't think Ogerpon lines up particularly great here. Actually, Ogerpon's not bad. I don't have a way of hitting the Raging Bolt this way. Like, I have Rhyperior, but that's about it. I guess I also have Ice Beam, and... yeah, okay, so I actually may not need Flutter here. Flutter's just really good outside of Trick Room because it is so incredibly fast, especially being booster speed, that I kind of like the idea of it. But I also have Latios to kind of fill that same role of just, like, good special attacker. Good, fast special attacker. Yeah, I think I like Ogerpon here. Let's try that. They do try to Urshifu me. I have Ogerpon to be able to switch in on it. And, like, Urshifu can't really touch Ogerpon all that well. They can, like, close combat me. Lando Flutter. Dang attack boosts. So I could stay in, just go for like an Icy Wind. I think they Terra Flutter here. And just go for like a Declean. I could Terra Poison. Actually, I like staying in here. And just clicking the attacking moves. If I need to pivot out appropriately, I can. Booster did not trigger on Flutter, meaning they are also choice specs here. Terra Poison means that I resist the Moonblast coming my way. It just protects, that's fine. It's pretty good damage. And we get the special defense drop, so another should KO. They just go for Shadow Ball. That's actually really smart on their part. So now, I think I'm going to make a very similar play. I'm just going to Luster Purge here. Except now I think I'm going to Trick Room this turn. Since they are locked into Shadow Ball here. And in the event my Latios does go down, I just get a free switch into Rhyperior. They can't Earth Power me because I have Levitate. So Lando really shouldn't have anything that can hit his Terra Poison. Terra Poison in front of my Luster Purging Choice Scarfers is a choice. And -1 special defense, this should KO. Okay. The Sludge Bomb presumably into P2? No. Okay. Oh, even better. You KO'd my Latios? Even better. So notably, I am bringing in a Naked Rhyperior here, but hey, I'll take it. Rhyperior is going to come out. I can't Terra. That's fine. Amoonguss is going to come out. Rock Slide is super effective into Lando, neutral into Amoonguss. I could go for Rock Slide here, try to flinch the Amoonguss. I have Ogre Pawn in the back. Like, I don't think I'm KOing Amoonguss this turn. So I think just going for Rock Slide plus Ice Beam the Amoonguss is probably okay. Nice flinch. And now they're going to give me my Weakness Policy as well. So now another Rock Slide will KO. Do I want to take the Rock Slide here, or do I want to take the Earthquake because it's a guaranteed KO? Earthquake will KO both, but it might also KO my P2. And I have Ogre Pawn in the back. They probably have Urshifu in the back. I think Rock Slide is probably just fine. I'll go for an Ice Beam here. Okay, they protect, that's fine. Rock Slide should be enough to KO the Lando as well. Okay. If they do have Urshifu as their last, they could go for an Aqua Jet here. Which means I can pivot into Ogre Pawn. and try for that Ice Beam into the Amogus again. I'm giving up my policy, but I think this is fine. Perfect. And they're going to Spore my P2. Yeah, this is the downside of making this play, but at the same time, now I still have Rhyperior if I need to. Last turn of Trick Room. I'm just going to go for a Horn Leech. I could wake up this turn. I'll Ice Beam. Okay. That doesn't do a lot. And I get the Wake Up? One turn sleep? P2, you're too good? Alright, well this game is over. Yeah, Ogerpon coming in clutch this last game. There might have been an argument to sack the Rhyperior, but I think this just works out in a way where I don't really care. I'm going to Horn Leech, I'm going to recover because they can't KO me, and they can't KO both my Mons this turn. So the more HP I have, the better positioned I am. Yeah. Yeah. So now it doesn't matter what they do, they can't win before I hit them. And we'll just go for a Terra Blast here to win. Perfect. Perfect match. Perfect way to end this series. So what did we learn today? I mean, every game we brought Rhyperior, we won. That being said, the Chien Pao teams seem absurdly hard for this team to beat. Like, just looking at the roster that our opponent had, Chien Pao, Urshifu, Incin, and Rillaboom all threaten Rhyperior in various ways, most of which are on the, physically offensive, super effective side, but I can't tear away from all of those weaknesses. On top of that, Incin also is just able to, like, pivot around you, intimidate you, so, like, your weakness policy isn't all that good there either. Then you pair that with something like Fluttermane on their side, and you're just pressured on the special defense side where you're already fairly weak anyway. So taking a neutral special hit is probably enough for Rhyperior anyway. So in that matchup, Rhyperior just does not make a lot of sense, and I think because of just the way this team is built, it felt very, very difficult for that to be a positive matchup. I'm not entirely sure what I could have done differently looking at it on surface, like on just surface level. Maybe in a best of 3, there's some adjustments I can make, but I think we brought the right mons to that match. I just think it did not line up in a particularly great way. That being said, the matches where we got to set Trick Room and sweep with Rhyperior were fantastic. The Latios was very good. We never got to flip turn our Rhyperior, which is like the idea behind it. But being able to lead Latios P2 actually puts on a ton of pressure against your opponent, because you could either be setting Tailwind with Latios, and like, granted, this is in best of 1 closed team sheet laddering like we've been doing. You can either set Trick Room, you can either set Tailwind with Latios and then like have a faster core in the back, or you can have Trick Room with P2 and then like have Rhyperior in the back that your opponent has to be threatened by as well. Notably, like, Latios also can just pressure your opponent, and like, Luster Purge is a hell of a drug now, base 95 special, base 95 special move with a 50% of the drop to special defense. We 2-shot Fluttermane because we got a special defense drop. We outsped Fluttermane because we have Choice Scarf. And on top of that, because of our Terra, we get away from our weaknesses to Fluttermane with Latios. I really like the idea of Latios in this current format. I think P2 Rhyperior was very good. And like, the rest of the team is just mons that we know are exceptionally good in this format. I think this team was very well constructed. I think that the idea of the Chien Pao hyper offensive teams really threaten this team. and I'm not sure exactly what I need to do to better myself in that matchup. But I do think if I sat down and played this team for more than the few matches we played, that it could be a matchup that I could figure something out. But on surface level, that matchup seems absurdly hard. So that's going to be it for today, everyone. Kind of a shorter episode, but in reality, like, we just came in and we just did the hyper aggro thing today, but mostly under Trick Room. So that's going to be it. Thank you so much as always. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you later with some more laddering. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.